are today. Roaming Ramble. Today we're just going to discuss, I'm probably going to have some pre-recorded videos on. We're going to sit here and see what the reaction is to just some reaction videos and some live discussion. I am going to be watching some chat somewhere. I haven't figured it out yet. We're just live on Twitch and YouTube, or mainly YouTube. But YouTube tends to have a heart attack if I visually look at my chat on another device, which I'm going to do anyway. But nonetheless, before we do that, I have a few things I want to do here. Yes, we are working with another PC. Working on that. So if you just forgive us and enjoy the music, that's why we have it on, because sometimes there's going to be blank spaces. This is new for me. We're going to be trying some reaction videos with our blogs that we've started with, some of them, especially our nature walks. So that is where we're headed, and you might hear a couple of notifications here and there from chat groups that don't seem to want to shut up while I'm streaming.
Just like all the little things I was going to work on, 'cause I'm a little bitch when you pour me whiskey. Yeah, I'm a throw a fit when you put me in the sunlight. Yeah, I'm a little baby by sleeping in my own bed. But now I'm getting old.
So don't mind us, we're not used to using the camera either. And I got the headsets on because the music comes through the desktop. I don't want it to echo in our microphone. I do have a regular microphone, but when we play audio, it comes through the PC. So put the headset on, and I can hear it. What's going on? We are live in the chat, but I'm sharing out I'm going to do a share of what we're doing here on my social media. I hope that anybody who might be listening will do the same and give a like and subscribe, follow, share it on your social media. It really helps. It really does. We're trying to work our way up to monetization, and they never make a nickel on any of this stuff. That is not important. We want to get those viewing hours in. That is what's important. We want to have the option. We want the option to be ours and not anybody else's. As to whether we choose to monetize our vlogs and stuff. Nobody should be able to decide that for us. Not even really YouTube, even though they provide the platform. They should not. We should not be able to choose whether we can monetize or not, which is what they basically do now. And since they want to play it's my playground, and do it my way, or take your marbles and go, we'll take our marbles and go home mentality, which is what business is about on the internet today. So them are nothing. So for anybody who doesn't know, we are also on Facebook. We are Cool Vibes on Facebook, and if you appreciate our content, you can drop us some stars on Facebook, on our main Facebook feed. That's always a possibility. Anyway, I hope you're all having a good day. We've been having a pretty severe heat wave. I understand most of the East Coast is having a heat wave, but for Canada, this is probably extremely unusual. We were supposed to have thunderstorms and all that kind of good stuff overnight with a 70% chance, and nothing happened. All we've got is some overcast skies and severe humidity. It's like swampy hot now. It's like if you've ever took a bath in steamy hot water in a room that's enclosed. That's what the outdoors is like. Anyway, I think we're going to be able to do this. We are looking at chat live on Facebook, and I have, as you can see, some glasses here. I can see the PC now that you can't see. So, I don't know, we've been hearing some rumors that there is buzz at YouTube, and I don't know how true it is. I'm not the source. But the buzz is that they're going to create a platform that is just for shorts, like TikTok has. Any videos that are from 30 seconds to 10 minutes, and they're going to have a shorts platform. And its shorts are going to be completely separate from Facebook now. It's going to be a place to advertise business, and you can advertise your business there and bid on, like TikTok does. TikTok business. That is what shorts is going to become, because it's starting to, the way I heard it, is that it's starting to cannibalize the long-term content and the creators. The views on the long view stuff is shrinking, reducing, making it harder to get those viewing hours. People are walking away because they cannot make monetization anymore, and the ones that do cannot earn the way they used to, because shorts are taking all the viewing hours. And it takes a whole lot of effort and work to make monetization with shorts. In fact, you'd have to have somebody producing shorts 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, maybe 2 groups, and just endlessly uploading to make that 10,000 view hours. It's not a simple thing at all, and then what you earn is mere pennies. It's not like the long-term, it's not like the long-form content at all, where you're basically putting out a movie every video. The editing and the effort and the time that goes into it, sometimes 24, 30 hours of video, and chop it up into an hour and a half, 2 hours of what you see on YouTube. All right, that kind of effort. These are not long form content. Is more like movies. It's more like having a super HBO, only with private investment. You're the writer. You're the cinematographer. You're the writer. You're the everything. You're the editor. So, but yeah. So some people who are pushing more short content, one morning you're going to wake up and shorts are going to be gone from YouTube, and shorts are going to be a thing of its own. with its own URL completely separate from YouTube. That's what we're hearing is coming. I don't know how long it would take them. Probably not long. Probably could happen in a blink of an eye. Simply get another URL and call it something else. Maybe YouTube Shorts or for business or something. I don't know. But will you still be able to promote your long form content on Shorts? Sure you will. Will it cost you? Yeah, if you want to make it an ad, it sure would. I'm sure. Because it would not only show up on Shorts, it would show up probably on AdSense as well, I would think. Anyway, we hope you are appreciating the tunes here. These are provided by Streamlabs, as many know. They are inspired playlists. This is an indie-inspired playlist that they provide, and it really is. It's not only is it convenient, but it's not really free. I have to subscribe. You have to subscribe to Streamlabs to actually, I guess, use the better part of this and get you whitelisted on Twitch and YouTube, not Facebook. Facebook don't care anything about that. I've had entire 2 and 3 hour long videos muted using this on Facebook. So just be warned there. It doesn't always happen, but it does happen. Especially if you're already at the point of monetization. You can, and everybody can receive stars now. Everybody that has more than 1,000 followers on their timeline, every image, every post, everything even your family videos, your family photos, they can all earn stars, so it's considered to be monetized. And so people who got the chokehold on all the copyrights for music and all that kind of stuff really put the chokehold on. Even on images, I've actually had album covers copyrighted and takedown orders on me for using images from CDs that I own. I could take a picture of a CD, they can claim right to it and say you have to pull it down because somebody else owns the copyright on it, especially if it has an artist's image on it. Bryan Adams is an example of that. I took a picture of a Bryan Adams CD, put it in my thumbnail, and got for a short, and got a takedown order for it. Even if you're a Roblox creator, my friends, if you're a Roblox creator and you are taking images from Roblox games, some of the ones that are made by the bigger groups, because Roblox is not about kids making games for kids anymore, it's about big corporations coming in and producing games that teach kids things like how to gamble and whatnot. Roblox is switching from a kids platform to a 18 plus format with gambling and everything else, yet they still allow the kids in there in the process of changeover. Just watching some of the stuff my 7-year-old daughter has to and my 14-year-old son are dealing with on Roblox is making us change our opinion about the Robux that we purchase and all that kind of stuff. My wife just invested over $200 in Sims 4 upgrades so that my 7-year-old daughter is 100 times more interested in playing Sims than Roblox. Because anyway, those Roblox images from those games and stuff like that, like the dance moves and stuff, if you're using them in your shorts, those too are getting copyright flagged. They belong to somebody else. Roblox is going corporate, and their game producers are big corporations now. They're not kids producing games for kids anymore. And they're an 18 plus format, which means they're getting into nudity, violence, and open discussions like we're having here, chat. like I said, in the process of transition, they're still allowing the 5-year-olds and the 6-year-olds to play there. It's still a 5, 6, 7, 8-year-old playground. Where you're running into people that ask them if they're lesbo or if they believe in, if they have intercourse every time they turn around and stuff, and that's probably not appropriate for a 5-year-old to hear or be asked. And they're not doing it in that particular way because Roblox does have certain bans on things you can say, but people have worked endlessly to defeat their blocks on certain language you can use. The kids that are reaching the age where they can read about just about any text, and they understand the younger language, they understand exactly what those texts that they're being asked are. They already have the knowledge of the slang of today's generation. They don't know what it means, a lot of it, but they have it. They understand it. They know what the word you're trying to trick the algorithm on Roblox means. So anyway, enough ranting. You just watch out for those copyrights, because once you get monetized, they put a chokehold on everything. One beat of a song, well, you're allowed so much as fair use, but they don't allow it to be a fragment of a second over. And that's what they're battling with shorts right now too, with the music, because people said, the shorts don't count as view hours on my long form content. But what about if I take the music from short? What if I make a short and I don't shrink it to shorts, and I don't shrink the video to the short size? I don't do it in portrait mode, but I leave it in long form mode. And it used to be able to post it that way, so you'd get the music, it would be copyright free, and you'd have a video that was 1 minute long with modern music in it and whatever you put behind it. You can't do that anymore. In case anybody didn't know, you don't have to type the hashtag short anymore. It automatically, anything 60 seconds or less automatically becomes a short. And it's not counted. Anyway, like I said, just a lot of rambling. In case you guys who are still trying to make monetization didn't know, these are the changes taking place. Don't put don't stop making shorts. Yes, it does grab you subscribers, and the subscriber count, the subscribers count toward your 1,500 or 1,000 subscriber goal. But that's not the hard part. Getting the subscribers is the easy part. The hard part is getting those viewing hours, because, and especially if you're into having friends who like to watch and stop, or refresh and watch and stop and watch and stop. If you do it more than if viewers do that more than 2 or 3 times during a live stream or a video, their stuff no longer counts. In 48 hours, their view hours are deleted from your account. They actually have to come watch for a certain period of time solid, and they can't watch that video more than twice in a certain amount of time, or the YouTube algorithm flushes them from your view hours as if they never watched. I'm gonna just turn off the microphone here for a minute, go get me some coffee, and then we'll put something else on in the background here. I just So as you guys know that today in Canada, as I look out the window, the sun has burst through and the sky is crystal blue again. This will be day 4 of this extreme heat wave. All signs of rain have vaporized. At least at this point. All right, here we are. We're gonna go down and pick Ellie up from her first day of file down, way down. I'm gonna tell you, this is our walk. The other day, on Tuesday, Ellie's first day of 3rd grade, being a COVID baby, this is her 2nd full year of school. She pretty much, she did go to her first year junior kindergarten at 3 years old for a couple of months, and then they closed the schools and locked down the province so that there was no school for her. And it was so off and on the year after and the year after that there was no full years of school for her. She went to school for a couple of weeks, it was closed again. Went to school for a couple of weeks, it was closed again. So last year was her first full year. She was a 2nd grader. This was her first full year as a 3rd grader. So we thought it'd be interesting to take the walk down to meet her, and then maybe take her for a slushie. At her favorite new store, she waited 4 months to get her slushie from the first time, because it went out of business. Pretty much without notice. We did our first vlog, a walk to the store to get a slushie in the spring. When we got there, they didn't have any slushies. They didn't have the stuff to make them, and we were told by the guy who was there, come back next week, we're supposed to be having all the stuff in to make the slushies and getting ready because they didn't expect the hot weather to start as soon as it did. And the week later when we went back, the store was closed and out of business. And there was another group taking over the store after a couple of weeks, and they kept telling us we're expecting to open any time, but it's taking us longer than we thought to clean up and get ready. Well, that long time was the whole summer. All right, about 2 weeks before school started, that store reopened and she finally got her first slushie. Anyway, that store I'm going to take her to in this video to get a slushie after school. And mind you, this was not even day 1 of this heat wave that we're in. This was like day 2 or 3. We were in this heat wave already, and it is extremely hot today. In this video, that is, today. And so yeah, we walked down here. We're walking down Graham Street to go to the school, and I'm a firm believer in not filming, the kids exiting school. So we don't do any video at the school whatsoever. So this video kind of pauses and then starts again. You can start to see, and I'm looking to hear about brush fires and stuff, because it's so dry. The trees are not changing color so much because it's fall. As you can see that the leaves are crispy, crunchy green on the trees. They're like petrified. They're just fried and stressed so bad. They're not. When they fall, I don't know if we're going to have much fall color, because the leaves are basically petrified on the trees right now. They're like, you could take them in your hand and crunch them all up with no effort. They're not moist and plush like a leaf would be. You can see where people have been mowing their lawns and they're all browned and burned up, and it has been, when I say it's been hot, it has been extremely hot. For Canada, it's extremely hot for anywhere. With with the humidity, it's been, you know, for anybody who understands degrees rather than Celsius, it's been, you know, about the 105, 107, 110. As you can see, they're starting to undress, going down the sidewalks. It's hot. I mean, you got to go pick your kids up from school. There's no escape. And even if you're only walking 3 blocks, I think it's just less than 3 blocks to pick Ellie up this year, and you just turn into a puddle of sweat. So there it is. We had paused the camera, and school has been completed, and we'll just let her know that we're going to go get a slushie. She got herself a strawberry and lime slushie, which she pretty much consumed better half of before we got in the house, which is right up the street from here. On the way up the hill, we found some interesting things, shopping carts, and somebody left a hedge trimmer laying out in their yard. Looked like it had been there for weeks. They forgot to pick it up, so probably that will be history because it was electric. And it's been drove on and walked on and rained on and pretty much exposed to the elements for a while. From the looks of it, it was pretty rusty. The back of the store there, the Wilkins convenience store, or whatever they're going to call it. I don't know, they didn't rename it yet, but that's what the name of the store was before it closed, the Wilkins store. It's on Wilkins Ave, I believe. They are just, this guy is trying to reopen the store with his own money, so every week he gets a little bit more supplies because he was doing it out of pocket. He didn't get any loans or anything to do this with. He rented the building, and using the equipment and the racks and stuff that came with it, or the racks that suppliers might bring when he starts ordering from them. The slushie machines were part of the original store, so he didn't have to do anything but buy the ingredients for those. See, he does have vending machines out front too that aren't full. My daughter keeps asking, how come these vending machines aren't full? I guess some people don't understand that the vending machines are not cheap to fill. There's bags of chips, you can see them hanging up there at the store. In order to buy enough to fill one of those vending machines once, it's about $1,500 investment. That's a lot of money coming from somebody's personal savings, on top of everything else that's going on to put this together. but he does have the Pepsi machine out front for when he's closed. You can actually buy Pepsi from that Pepsi machine. You just can't buy anything from the chip machine yet because he hasn't got enough money to invest in that much supplies, I don't believe. That's why his shelves are slowly filling. I've noticed each time I go in, there's a little bit more and a little bit more. So he's doing his thing. Doing just what he promised, let's put it that way. And, yeah, the slushy machines are a little tricky, and Ellie is not quite slushy machine ready, I guess you might say. She was pretty excited about that slush. She's so excited she even put the money on the counter that I gave her to pay the lady. I had to take the money from her and pay the lady myself. And they filled their empty time in that store with that large screen TV while they were cleaning and scrubbing and whatnot. And so they left the TV up. It takes up a lot of retail space. I don't know if it'll actually stay there or if it won't. I suppose it depends on how busy it is and how much return they get to supply the store. And next door, there used to be a little restaurant that they turned into an apartment that they are renting out. So that's a little bit extra income right there. Probably more guarantee income than it was as a small restaurant in the particular area where it is. And then we're on our walk back. Ellie just asked Ellie how her slushy was, and she told me it's better than the chocolate and caramel put together. And I said, really? And I said, I don't really know many people that would agree with that, but I'm glad it's good. There she is, slushy and all. She's excited because in October her mother got her tickets for the Taylor Swift movie that's going to be releasing in theaters, and this summer they've all been watching the Taylor Swift concerts on YouTube and all that stuff, and she turned and before school started and asked her mother if she could get her Taylor Swift tickets to see Taylor Swift in Toronto, and we've been looking at ticket prices. Yeah, the tickets haven't really even been released yet, and the people buying advance tickets have the prices up to $17,000, as much as $17,000 already, and there's still a year before the concert. Yeah, so that's not happening, but there is a movie, there is a live concert movie releasing in October. It'll be in theaters here, and her mother managed to get a hold of some tickets, so they're going to Taylor Swift concert at the movie theater in October, just mid-October before Halloween. So now we're on our final path after looking at the basement floor they just poured in the new house they're putting up on a lot that's been vacant since we lived here. Finally sold the second piece and broke it up into two sections. And one person a couple of years ago built a trailer, and now they're building another house. No more empty lot of land. And for years it was an abandoned building. Some old guy passed away, and apparently his family didn't want anything to do with the property, so they tore that property. They tore the old building there that was on the land down and put it up for sale. But it didn't sell because they wanted too much money. Surprise, surprise. And after COVID, I guess they lowered, they decided their expectations were way too high. And Next thing you know, house is popping up. The local cleaners here. Parson, he does, this place does not only family laundry and suits and stuff like that, but they also do some of the local restaurants, and they used to do laundry sheets and pillowcases and stuff for the Hotel Quinny, but that's burnt down and gone now, and I don't know if they still do that. They don't rent them, but they will wash them there. Wash them, press them, and send them back. Pretty sure they still do it there. You can see all the big equipment, the washing machines and the presses and everything. Looks kind of small to me to be a big industrial sized laundry like that, but nah, bigger than it appears. I worked for an industrial laundry that was about four times that big. We did hospitals and stuff like that. Hospitals, hotels, resorts, family laundry. Here we are at the school. Looks like the Catholic school was just getting out at the time we got to the location. This family was going, we're not used to stopping for the stop signs on these side streets because they aren't that busy, but this group was teaching the kids the right way, so they waited for the walk sign, which can take forever when they're releasing school, because the cars are always in and out of the school, keeping the stop walk signs lit. So that this video is about to end, and it will loop if I don't stop it, so forgive me. Should I stop it? So, you know, from there we got to the crossing guard, went across the street and went home. Now yesterday, this particular one is from yesterday, and I took the trash out before I went to pick Ellie up, but heading out, all the same, pick Ellie up from school, and super hot. Man, it was so hot yesterday, it was and oppressive. There was almost like no oxygen in the air. You almost couldn't breathe. It was like it was just burning all the oxygen out of the air, quite literally. Anyway, this is on the way out. I'm not so sure why the camera is pointed toward the sky so much here, but just one of those things. Sometimes it's you can't always look at the camera because your eyes got to be on where you're going, especially when you're dealing with traffic and stuff. You kind of forget where you're pointing the camera. That's what happens, quite literally. You can see the Shore Patrol. They're out there making sure there's nobody bothering the kids, because the high school students are on their way home. The elementary kids are about to get out, and we don't need anybody disobeying traffic laws and stop signs and crossing guards. And there's a lot of that here. And I'm going to point the camera at the communications company here. I don't mind getting incidental pictures of people as I'm walking, but sometimes we're walking directly behind them and the camera would be right in their face. So anyhow, as we're walking down here we run across Ian, my son, and he's already on his way home. I'm just down going to get his sister. He will be popping into the picture very soon. I kind of like it when I run into Ian because when we're going out to do video together, because we play off of each other pretty well, and it becomes you know, like a comedy routine at times. So there he is right there. What's wrong with the streets today? This face. So yeah, he agreed to come down with me and we went down to meet his sister. And I got to tell you, he didn't have to. He was almost in the front door with the air conditioning, and it was hot. I mean, we were cooking. You could tell he was cooking. He had been outside at school a good percentage of the day because the gym class, I guess, they had made the plans for the classes before the heat wave, you know, the week or two before school started, and yeah. Changing plans is not as easy as it sounds, so they spent time outside during the gym and roasted, and then he had to do his walk this far, and then he said, yeah, okay, I'm going to come to the school with you. And I walked down to the school together, and I decided to buy him the slushie this time around. And he got himself, I don't know if it was I want to say it was a Coke slushie, but the lady said something about one cream and one crush. So, unless she was talking about the pink one that was strawberry the other day, I think that's exactly what they had. The pink cream slush and the orange crush slushie and a Coke slushie, as well as a lime slushie. I think he got himself a Coke slushie. I'm not quite sure how they make the Coca-Cola slushies, but to me, since the machine is cold and it produces, and it will slowly produce the slush, I can imagine they just dump a bottle of soda in. And even though you lose the carbonation, you gain the slushie. I gotta tell you, those machines were working overtime yesterday when we were in there, just sweating. And, when you turn them, it was you could see the slushy just melting as it turned. I mean, they don't having a hard time keeping them cold enough to actually be slushy. So today, my prediction. The good thing, I guess, about the Coke slushie is that it does not lose flavor as quickly as the flavored slushies do. The ones you add the syrup, you can drink them down, they turn white, you got mostly ice in the end. The Coke syrup is pretty heavy and it goes through the whole slushie. Anyway, he's on his way down to the school, and we were joking about permafrost melting and having summer 1 month a year, but we decided March 1st would be a good time as any to celebrate, to have both fall and winter at the same time in the same week, because, you know, these heat waves are getting worse and worse here in Canada. Sometimes we only get, the snow don't come until February, and we get one blast and of snow, and the rest is all like ice storms, and it does sometimes get super cold. Don't get me wrong, where the salt doesn't melt the ice anymore, and it gets a mess. But the heavy duty storms, We haven't really, they've been lacking for a while. Let's put it that way. It started before COVID, and after COVID, it just started getting warmer and warmer and warmer every year. And here we are into an El Nino, which usually means cooler summer and a heavier winter. And we're having these extreme heat waves, and all these massive hurricanes are really, as of recent, the massive hurricanes just bring a wind. They bring hazy skies like we've had this morning with the heavy winds and nothing more. We got the one from Hillary, and we got the one that was just in Florida, and now apparently there's more coming on shore. But we were supposed to have thunderstorms, 70% chance of thunderstorms and heavy rains last night, and not more than a sprinkle. When I woke up this morning at 5:30, it was dry. At 6 o'clock, it's like it had sprinkled. You could just see the ground. The pavement was a little bit damp, and before 7 o'clock, it was dry as if nothing ever happened. Here we are, I walk back up to the store because poof, the art of video editing, or video pausing in this case. If you've got a cell phone and you have not been doing this, either recording or using your data to live stream, you're missing out on an opportunity for some passive income, because these walking videos and vlogs are some of the most popular stuff on YouTube today. Some of the most popular stuff anywhere. They are, I got an email from Twitch asking me to do more of these pre-recorded videos because they are that popular. They're telling me they want me to make shorts out of my pre-recorded content and start promoting them more heavily. You're literally your phone, or some people use GoPro, but GoPros tend to they're good. They don't do good in low light, and they tend to overheat more than phones. But a phone is an entire recording studio in your hand, and you don't need a script. The script is in your mind as you walk. You just say what comes to mind. That's what we do. We do a lot of nature walks, and I don't know if you've seen our recent riverfront walk. We just played at the river for a half hour. You can listen to the water as it flows down. It's just so relaxing and peaceful, and the kids enjoyed putting their feet in the water and skipping rocks and then playing at the pirate park and whatnot. Even the hike there and back, 90% of it was nature. This was a slightly shorter video. Somehow we managed to make the walk quite a bit faster than me and Ellie did the first day. I had almost a 30-some minute video the first day, and even though I started from the rear of the apartment building, we actually did this trip 7 minutes quicker than the day before. So if you guys are out there, I really would appreciate it if you would subscribe, follow, share our content. We're trying to build our viewing hours up, and live streams are the way to do it. I've only got so much time for live streams, and yeah, I did the gaming. I did do the gaming stream the last 3 days, and we've got pretty good response on YouTube from the gaming streams, but I don't know what we're getting from this one. I'm certainly hoping something. Anyway, don't forget to share our content. It really helps. It really helps when you like, follow, and share. if you put on the notifications, you'll know every time we got a new adventure coming up. And when I say adventure, they are just that. We do, walks on the riverfronts, and sometimes we just walk the neighborhood for the heck of it, or we take a walk through empty plots that are going to become new subdivisions. Over the summer, we had an interesting situation where we ran into somebody in the lot behind us who thought they owned it and it was their home. Gave us hell for being there, and they were sleeping literally on a slab of concrete in the middle of nowhere. Quite literally the middle of nowhere. But it is all owned, and it's all rezoned to put up a subdivision housing, 150 new homes and apartment buildings, and even a possible strip mall. Several new city blocks. That's how big the factory that was tore down is back there. So we got his slushy. That might be where we got a little bit quicker, because Ellie had a harder time making up her mind what she wanted. But he got his slushy, and we began our very hot walk back home. And I did have to cut the camera off a little bit early. We were walking in front of another family, and so I just wanted to what I did is I wanted to cut the camera off before we got to the crossing guard, and I don't believe that she was actually working on her job. I don't want to record the crossing guard doing her work. But I want people, anybody watching who lives in this town and drives on Sydney Street, just know that that camera is out there watching them. Some of them have ran the crossing guard, and they tried to speed through, even while she's standing in the middle of the street holding up the stop sign as though they never seen it. And you know, the police do sit out there with and watch, but it's hard for them. They can't have a location where they can't entrap people. They have to be visible somehow within a certain amount of radius. And, so people know the police are there. Of course, very few would do these things in front of the police department. So. But some of them have, and some of them been stopped. It's a big fine for screwing around like that in the school zone. $400 or $500 fines. It's not one you want to do too many times in the school year. They now have the stop signs on the school buses now too, because cars used to go around school buses blowing their horn and squaring and driving by on them. I don't know how they expect their own kids to be on those buses when they get pissed and race by them as they're dropping kids off, and kids are trying to walk across the front of the bus to get across the street, and cars come racing through there, plowing everybody over. But they now have the stop signs on the school buses here, and to actually pass one is a big, huge fine. So here we are. This is going to be almost the end of the video. It's going to be started. Actually, what's going to happen is going to loop back and start over. I really hope y'all enjoy this. What I want to start doing is reaction videos to all the footage that we got over the summer, including some I still have in the bank, as they might say. I have some from our trip to Waterfront Park that has to be severely edited because some guy thought that he owned the park and came out and grabbed my phone and my gimbal and stuff and told me it was illegal to do any recording in a place like that, period, and wanted me to remove my SIM card so he could have it and destroy it. And that's just not the way things work. Sort of reminded him of that. In fact, it's whole countries have bombed entire whole other countries because of attacking journalists and bloggers. You don't do that. It's illegal. That's I'm pushing 70 years old. I've got a lot of family, and including First Nation, who fought in all of these wars for these freedoms. I know what the freedoms are about. They know. I've got great-grandparents and great-great-grandparents who died in the Civil War and stuff like that. The Civil War, the First World War, they were cavalry and everything else. My father was in the Korean War. Everybody knows why they fought those battles. It's so that we could do this stuff here and have the right to go out and journal our lives, whether we're writing or we're taking pictures or we're doing video. It doesn't matter. It is not illegal. And if I get somebody in a frame, it's incidental. How many people grew up with families who took the home films? They had the film cameras and they took them out to the parks, and then after the film cameras it was the VHS recorders, and then it was the DVD and all of that. Now it's cell phones and Osmo pockets. Some people have cameras, you don't even know it. The camera fits in their hand, looks like, and you can't even hardly see the camera. It fits in the palm of your hand and you just hold it by your side. You don't even know it's there, my friend. They call them Osmo pockets. Check it out. They cost about $350, $400 on Amazon. That's what a lot of these bloggers are using because of people who think that it's illegal to do these videos. Anyway, I'm going to edit that stuff out so people don't see how foolish those people were, and I'm going to do a reaction video to that too. So, like I said, I hope you guys appreciate this stuff and you like it. Let us know in the comments and whatnot. I don't see any chat, but I do see views and stuff like that. And as you can see, the town police right there, they drive by me. They know I've been out here blogging all summer. We've actually been talked about it and met downtown. I've met with some of the local press downtown while I was covering these local events like the Caribbean Festival and whatnot. I've had talk with many of the people from Post Media, Stringers, and other stuff, and they deal with the same crap. You guys, you got to knock it off. You cannot tell the media and the journalists and the bloggers, which are, it's a modern way of saying journalist. When I say I'm a vlogger or a blogger, or I'm walking, recording history, recording nature and all that stuff, friends, I'm saying I'm a journalist. Okay? And yeah, the truth, I have a press pass. I am literally a journalist. 40 years ago I went to school for this. Well, even more than 40 years ago, because it was the 70s, almost 50 years now. I finished, I actually have engineering licenses and everything else to work at radio and television stations and build them and everything else. And I was a DJ, and I wrote ad jingles and commercials and everything else. So yeah, and one of the first things we had to have was a press pass. My press pass. Technically, it's just there. I've had it since 1978. little bit different than the press passes of today, which you can stop right in any town hall and get. I think Belleville's too small. They don't concern themselves with press passes, but if I was in Toronto, I certainly could get one, and I'd be legally right on the front of every parade. And whether there was, it wouldn't matter who's there, it's legal. You're a journalist. Wouldn't matter if I was there with a pad and paper and writing, or if I'm there with a camera or a video. It doesn't matter. You cannot attack your journalists. Once you do that, you become communist and fascist. That's what they're fighting right now in the United States. Have been since 2014. Anyway, I hope you like this. I'm going to be doing more of this. You really, really need to build those watch hours up. We appreciate your support. Next time we'll be back with some more commentary on our video. I don't know how I'm going to do it yet. I don't know if I'm going to download content and just do voiceover and re-upload it, but I think I'm going to do it live, and I might do it right from YouTube, and you never know. I'll try to, whatever I set up. We're not getting many views on the gaming, not on Facebook, and that's where the gaming comes in, because I do have a page on Facebook where I'm doing gaming, but the views on it are dismal because reels are literally cannibalizing live streaming on Facebook. It's almost viewers are almost non-existent, and so aren't the live stream content creators. Anyway, I hope you like this. Hope you leave a like and a follow and your views. We appreciate your support. We'll see you later. Have a good afternoon.